All eyes are on Indiana right now. Polls close in a little more than an hour.
Yep, it's a make-or-break night for Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders in the presidential primaries. WSBT-22's Patrick Roth is live at Ted Cruz's watch party in Indianapolis. And Patrick, Cruz has pulled out all the stops to try and win here.
Yeah, Rick, and it was a pretty intense day on the campaign trail as well. Just when you thought this campaign couldn't get any more bizarre or nastier, it somehow did in the final hours. Really all started when Donald Trump went on Fox News and accuses Ted Cruz's father, Rafael Cruz, of having connections to Lee Harvey Oswald, the John F. Kennedy's assassin. So imagine, didn't take Cruz long to respond to that. He called Trump a pathological liar, a bully, and nuts. Of course, Cruz's only chance of winning the nomination is in a contested convention. And if Trump winds up winning Indiana, it's going to be hard for any candidate to win enough delegates to stop Trump from winning the nomination outright on the first ballot. But like you said, Cruz has been pulling out all the stops to win here in Indiana. He named Carly Fiorina as his running mate, and late last week, he got the endorsement of Governor Mike Pence. Big question is, will that be enough to win? A lot of polls have Cruz not only behind, but behind by a lot. And earlier this morning, his campaign told the Associated Press that he's prepared to give a, quote, very somber address later tonight. Of course, polls have been wrong before, and certainly his campaign, he and a lot of his supporters are hoping that's the case tonight. Live in Indianapolis, Patrick Roth, WSBT 22 News.
Patrick, thank you. We're hearing about minor issues at the polls, mostly with longer waits. Marshall County started using vote centers today. Elkhart County already uses them, and St. Joseph County started using e-books when you sign in to vote. That means you signed in on an iPad instead of paper. Remember, polls close in Indiana at 6 o'clock local time. Well, two Republicans want to replace retiring U.S. Senator Dan Coats. 3rd District Congressman Marlin Stutzman and 9th District Congressman Todd Young are running. The winner will face former Democratic Congressman Barron Hill in November. Young beat Hill in 2010 for the 9th District House seat.
In the 2nd District race for Congress, 2 men are vying for the Democratic nomination. Doug Carpenter is running for a second time. He lost to Joe Bach 2 years ago. The other Democrat is Lynn Coleman of South Bend. WSBT 22's Diane Daniels is covering this race for us tonight. She is live at a polling place where voters are casting their ballots. Diane.
They sure are, Jennifer. We've got folks signing in on those iPads that you folks just talked about. But earlier today, we did catch up with Lynn Coleman as he was casting his vote at a polling place on the south side of South Bend. Now, Coleman has had a long career with the South Bend Police Department. Then he served in former South Bend Mayor Steve Litkey's administration. Coleman says if he does win tonight, he's ready for the challenge of going up against a Republican incumbent in November.
All those things that people stack up against us, the money, the fundraising issue, being a real Republican district and how it's been gerrymandered, and all of those things that stack up against us, we're going to find ways to overcome that.
Now, we're going to be heading over later tonight to the Clay Democratic Club up on the north side of South Bend. That's where Lynn Coleman is going to be watching those vote totals come in. We'll have much more coming up this evening right here on WSBT 22 News. But live for now in South Bend, I'm Diane Daniels, WSBT 22 News.
All right, Diane, thank you. Republican Jackie Walorski currently serves in the 2nd District. She is facing a challenge from Jeff Peterman in the primary. WSBT 22's Zach Crenshaw is covering that side of the race tonight. He is live at the St. Joseph County GOP headquarters, where Walorski is hoping to celebrate a victory tonight. Zach.
Yeah, Jennifer, you can see behind me they're all geared up and ready for the watch party, which is less than an hour away. The pressure on incumbent Jackie Walorski, who's been in her position since 2013. I had the chance to speak with both candidates today, both saying they're very happy and excited with the voter turnout, obviously attributed to the presidential race and the attention that's drawing on the Republican side. It's been a relatively quiet primary, though, with neither candidate spending big bucks on advertising in our area. Now, Peterman runs his own marketing company, while Walorski has been a congresswoman for the past 2 terms. Both candidates told me today they're confident the results will be in their favor tonight.
We feel really good, and I feel good about my record. I feel good about the fact that folks know that I fight for Hoosiers, and I've done exactly what I said I would do, and stay in touch with this district, and just continue to fight for Hoosiers.
We are cautiously optimistic, but we've received just so many messages and calls and Facebook posts and just so many different points of contact from people who have said either that they voted for us or make sure you vote for Jeff Peterman. So, you know, if social media is an indicator, we really feel like we have been able to own that. And, you know, I think tonight's our night.
As you can see, not a lot of people here, just a few staffers setting up for the watch party, which is less than an hour away. As I mentioned, Jackie Walorski will be here hoping to celebrate. Jeff Peterman says he is going to be watching at his home in Bristol. And we will have much more on this election as the results come in tonight on WSBT 22 News at 6 and tonight at 11, as well as reaction from whoever wins this primary. But for now, reporting live in South Bend, Zach Crenshaw, WSBT 22 News.
All right, Zach, thanks a lot. There's also some local races that we're following. We'll have results from those on our ticker after the polls close. Some voters are deciding tax issues. New Prairie United School Corporation wants to raise $42 million for renovation and improvements to buildings across the district. Now, if approved, property taxes would go up about 61 cents for $100 of assessed value, or about $10 to $12 a month for the average home in that district. In Marshall County, Argus Community Schools looking for a tax increase to pay for improvements. The money would go toward teacher salaries, staff positions, and programs. District officials say without that tax increase, they'll have to cut programs and teacher jobs. A person owning a $100,000 home would pay about $200 more a year. Stay with WSBT 22 News for the latest on today's primary. We have crews covering the big races, and at 5:30, we'll have more on the presidential races and problems people